Welcome back to another video. Today we got an interesting team here. We got the Umbreon paired with the Shadow Muk, and we got the Meganium. So the core here of Umbreon and Shadow Muk makes sense. And then the Meganium is just honestly just for a tank. It is one of the more tankier ones in Greatly, so we're just going to see how this plays out. Here we're going to stay in, and we're just going to be throwing this foul play off here. This foul play is going to be able to connect because I don't anticipate them shielding. This Umbreon is pretty tanky, so we should be able to tank any move this Dragonair throws at us. So we're not worried about this first move. This is probably the Aqua Tail. Oh, it's actually Dragon Pulse. Okay, I was wondering what they were saving all the energy for. Okay, so as you can see there, we are still able to tank a Dragon Pulse. The unconventional moveset with Dragonair, which is interesting. Here we're looking for a farm down. Pretty sure they were running Dragon Pulse and Aqua Tail. And here we run into our worst case scenario. So they came in with the fairy. We kind of have two counters to the fairy, so we insta swap. This Meganium got an energy head start, and we should be able to throw these Frenzy Plants towards this Cofagrigus. You see how much damage that Cofagrigus just took from that Frenzy Plant. Kind of sneaky. So they're going to have to respect the next Frenzy Plant. As you can see here, the Meganium is able to tank a Shadow Ball. So that's going to really help us. Once again, this is honestly just like a tank. It's just honestly just tanking these Shadow Balls, tanking these charms that are in this meta, and able to like kind of outpace the fairy types. So here we get a bonus Frenzy Plant getting thrown at this Clefable. They do end up shielding, and it's GG's because we know what we have in the back. Shadow Muk absolutely is going to wreck this Clefable, but unfortunate for them, they weren't able to farm down. We were able to get to another Frenzy Plant. This Frenzy Plant is going to get shielded again, and they're just hoping the backline will help them. Unfortunately for them, they have one last Hail Mary. Maybe if we don't shield a potential Psychic. Let's see. Ooh, they do go for the Hail Mary. Unfortunately for them, we did decide to shield, and this is GG's. This is going to be one of those teams where we just kind of had them counter the whole entire way. So the concept of Umbreon and Shadow Muk, that's the core, and then you kind of just need like another tank. And we decided to choose Meganium. So we are having to kind of be aware, and we have to watch out for like Ninetales. That's kind of a problem, but we kind of have to take it down by committee. All right, so we got the Registeel versus the Umbreon. This Umbreon is able to tank a Focus Blast, but regardless, we know that this Registeel has to throw two charge moves to take out this Umbreon, so we're just going to chip away at this. We kind of don't have a counter to this Reggie. This is kind of a committee thing. We got to take this down by committee. So Umbreon is kind of a weird one to face. So we're just going to keep doing a bunch of chip damage. Essentially, the idea here is to get this Reggie as low as possible so we can farm down with something in the back. They decide to switch out. So we decide to go into our Muk. This Muk here is going to be able to beat this Vigoroth if we shield once. The Vigoroth could potentially no Bulldoze, so we do huge damage. They go for the Bulldoze. So we do end up down one shield, but we're going to be able to gain a ton of energy here. Here, this is a no shield because this is going to be a Body Slam. This Body Slam is not going to KO, but it's going to do a good amount of damage, good neutral damage for them. And we're just going to go for this Thunder Punch here, just to whittle this Vigoroth out. And we're going to have a bunch of energy for that Reggie in the back if they decide to bring it back. So at this point, they are kind of double weak to fighting, so we're expecting some kind of fairy. Let's see if fairy is in the back or something. Or maybe it's completely something way different. Here, we're going to go for another charge move here. We do get the Dark Pulse off. We allow them to send off this Focus Blast probably. Okay, makes sense. And let's see what they have in the back here. We haven't shown that we have Meganium, so we're debating whether to go in with the Meganium or the Umbreon right now. We decided to go with the Meganium, see if we can get an energy head start. They end up having the Shadow Machamp. This Shadow Machamp is going to be able to do some big damage because it has two shields. So I guess their entire goal was to use two shield Shadow Machamp at the end. They got their wish, and here we just didn't want to throw on. They threw a move before we got to it, but we didn't want to get CMP tied. So we decided to shield that one, and then throw the move because the one Vine Whip did get through. So this should get another shield, exactly. And here, we're just trying to see if we can get to another move. Oh, great counting by my opponent right there. Absolutely. Throwing on really good timing with the Shadow Machamp. Do we have a move on the Umbreon? No. So this is going to be GG's. Well played by my opponent. Basically, using 2 shields with Shadow Machamp. Absolutely wrecked us at the end right there. That was well played by my opponent. Great timing on the moves. And unfortunate that we actually went with the wrong counter, quote unquote, wrong counter to their Vigoroth. In hindsight, we should have gone with the Vigoroth because that Shadow Machamp would have had to deal with our Shadow Muk. So just a little bit of a unfortunate switch in, and they actually drew out our poison type. So we got to keep that in mind next time. All right, next game here, we are going to be running into the Double Wall. This is interesting because Double Wall knows a fighting fast move. It looks like double kick, and it potentially knows body slam and payback. Usually is what they're running. So we're going to be throwing on optimal timings here. Well, actually, the optimal timing is kind of out the door because I think both of us are 3-turn moves, so it doesn't matter. But we do want to make sure that we are whittling this double down as much as possible because our backline here would love either a farm down or maintain alignment here. They could potentially have 2 counters or 2 things that are protecting against the double weakness of the fighting, and kind of so do we. Okay, so he ended up getting a shield from them. Let's see if we end up shielding here just to match them. They throw the body slam, it takes us out. So I guess we decide that 2 shields with our backline is the way to go. Here, we probably have to come in with the Shadow Muk just to be able to farm this down before they get to another move. Unfortunately, that does not happen. So either one that we picked would have been bad because they were able to get to another move. So we did shield a big payback right there, which is awesome. So they've shown that they have 2 things weak to fighting. What do we think is in the back here? It could be Fairy. It could easily be Fairy. It could be Hypno. I try to catch a move right here, just to see what they have in the back. They decide to throw. They throw the foul play. Okay. And then, because at this point, I had no idea what they had in the back. Okay, so they reveal that they have the Cofagrigus. So the team makes sense. They had a ABA with Cofagrigus in the back. Because we got a little bit of energy head start, we should be able to get to this. Oh, well, now we got to debate whether we want to shield this one or not, because this potentially could be Shadow Ball. Okay, they actually threw Dark Pulse. Really good for them. Here we're going to be farming just a little bit, and then throwing the move before they get to their next Dark Pulse. Because they reveal that they have Dark Pulse, they probably have Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball. I don't see why they would run anything else. And here, we're just going to be trying to throw... Ooh. We should have thrown that Frenzy Plant right there. We allowed them to take us out with a full stack of energy. That was huge. That was huge. That was one of those situations where we should have just thrown on bad timing just to get the move off. So that's probably going to cost us the game right there, unfortunately. If we had thrown that Frenzy Plant, it either would have gotten this Umbreon really low, or we would have gotten a shield out of it. So that was a misplay for sure. Here, we're going to be able to get this last shield, but they're going to be able to get to their last foul play pretty easily here. So GG's right there. Man, we actually had a good read, and we switched out to our Meganium early to draw out that Cofagrigus. But unfortunately, when we had the Frenzy Plant, we did not throw the move because we thought we could get one more Vine Whip in. So unfortunate. Let's see. The team is feeling pretty solid. We have been able to wiggle our way out of a couple of weird situations, but a little bit of a misplay back there with the Frenzy Plant. Okay, so this is an interesting lead. Haven't seen too many Politoads. This Politoad is super spammy. It's going to get to these weather balls really, really quickly, and it potentially could know Earthquake as a big charge move, or it could be running Blizzard as their big charge move. But looks like they're just going to be throwing Weather Ball here. Here, once again, we're trying to just throw on really good optimal timing, either after 3 snarls, okay, or after 1 snarl, depending on how you want to do it. Okay, so they threw the move. Probably going to be another Weather Ball. It looks like they've just been spamming a bunch of Weather Ball. I don't even know if they have a second move at this point. Okay, they just keep on throwing. And we did get a sneak in right there, so that's going to be helpful probably. Because we are on so much energy, we're just going to be throwing this move here as soon as we have it. And then let's see what they do. Do they end up ever shielding? Okay, they tried to sneak a Shadow Machamp against us. Unfortunately for them, we have the Shadow Muk for their Shadow Machamp. This is going to be a really good matchup for me. We decided to shield once because we resist these counters and we don't want to take any unnecessary Rock Slide. So they actually get to the next move again. This time we tank the Rock Slide, so everything that I didn't want to do, they end up getting. So a little bit of a misplay right there. We are going to go for this Thunder Punch here, which is going to get a shield. Do we get to another Thunder Punch? We do get to another Thunder Punch, so I guess it ended up being okay at the end. We wanted to just invest 1 shield in this matchup regardless. So fortunately for us, we are up a shield, but also we have a ton of energy on the Umbreon, and this is obvious coming in with the Meganium. The question now is, do we ever shield this first one and just hope Meganium just goes crazy at the end? It looks like we decided to shield, and we just put everything on the line with our Meganium. Here, we go straight for the Earthquake because the Frenzy Plant would be resisted. We wanted to make sure we didn't get our move caught, and fortunately for us, that didn't happen. And we actually get taken out here by this Muk, and we decide to farm it down. We have a move, so we throw this Foul Play immediately because even though that counter came through with the Shadow Machamp, because we took out the Machamp, we did not take the damage. And fortunately for us, our Umbreon was able to survive a couple of mud shots right there, and we were able to get to the last Foul Play. So GG's to our opponent right there. That was an absolute close game. They had a really, really spammy team if you want to go back and think about it. Fortunately for us, we were able to save that energy on the Umbreon. That Umbreon coming in clutch at the end right there. Basically taking out 3 Pokemon, right? That was insane. All right, I think this is the last game here. Let's see if we can end up on a good note. Here, we got another like tank versus tank situation. This is one of those situations where we're just going to stay in. We don't really have a super great counter to this, so we're just going to try to play this out, throw on optimal timing. Yes, we have the Shadow Muk, but we don't want to switch into it because they're just going to counter swap. So we're just going to play this one out, throw on optimal timing, and we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, if we get taken out because of the debuffs, we're just going to farm it down with our Shadow Muk. So we're just going to stay in. We're just probably going to tank all these moves. They go for another Leaf Tornado looking for the debuff. Unfortunately for them, it didn't happen. So, I don't know about this switching right here. Kind of the reason why we win with the Meganium here is because they've already shown that they have 2 things really good against our Meganium. So we're kind of just sacrificing this Meganium right now. We decided to go for the Earthquake just to do either big damage or get a shield. And we don't have to shield any of this because if they do a Body Slam, we're going to be able to survive it. If they throw Aqua Tile, it's actually a return. That is something I was not expecting. So that was a good surprise by them. But like I said, we were kind of sacrificing that Meganium. We didn't really want the Meganium to be kind of involved because they've shown that they had 2 good counters to the Meganium. So we just kind of sacrificed it. So now we just farm it down. Okay, so they revealed that they have Umbreon in the back. This Umbreon has 2 shields to deal with, so this is going to be actually really hard. Unfortunately for us, we don't have Acid Spread on this Shadow Muk, so it's just going to take a little bit more timing and a little bit more charge moves than we probably want. Let's see how this plays out. They still have the Superior, so they're probably not going to switch in anytime soon, so we just got to probably take this Umbreon down as much as possible. This Umbreon is a tank. They're going to be able to throw this foul play. We are able to tank it. We're not too worried about it switching because they don't want to switch into the Shadow Muk, like I just said. So we're just going to keep throwing these Thunder Punches as much as possible. Whittle this thing down. Potentially shielding something back here. Okay. Oh, we decide to do the good old catch. We catch a foul play here, making them waste a lot of energy on inefficient stuff. Here we throw the last resort to potentially take out this Umbreon, and let's see if this ends up being a shield. We end up getting a shield from it, so that's really solid. And we're going to be hoping we can get to these foul plays. They still are able to use some shields, so this is going to come down to the wire here. Are they going to throw a move? Okay, they're going to throw a move right before we get to a move. Makes sense to me. And we're gonna shield this because we want to make sure we use this energy efficiently here. This energy here is valuable because if we can take down this superior low enough, we can just farm down with our Shadow Muk. So that's why we decided to shield it, and then we decided to switch in to our Shadow Muk for the KO. So GG's to our opponent right there. We had to just wiggle our way out of that situation. That catch by the Umbreon was key. So check out this team. Let us know if you enjoyed it, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.